First of all, people always got something to say about my five, because I don't include Magic Johnson and Larry Bird and Wilt Chamberlain. I ain't include nobody I ain't see play.
Welcome back to the show. This is What's Up With You. I have one of my aces here with me today. I call him Nick. Some of y'all call him Ace. Some of y'all call him Adam. His kids call him Daddy. He been my man for a while. He's someone that I genuinely enjoy being friends with. He's someone that I go to for advice. Someone who, when they tell me that I'm wrong about something, I'll actually contemplate if he's right about me being wrong, which is kind of rare for me because I think I know everything. So that's my man. Y'all show him some love in the little heart section and all of that good stuff.
Yep.
Tonight, we discussing basketball, family, him being a handyman, and whatever else we get into. So, I always start off basic question. My man, what's up with you?
Hey man, I'm cool, baby. I woke up, I'm breathing, I'm good, man. I mean,
I'm with you. Life is good. Life is good. So, I'm gonna start your interview off similar to the way I did DJ Shane, right? So, before we jump into you and you know who you are in basketball and all that, it's gonna be basketball. But I want you to give me your all-time starting five off the rip.
whew. People always got something to say about my five, because I don't include Magic Johnson and Larry Bird and Wilt Chamberlain. I ain't include nobody I ain't see play.
Okay.
Straight like that. And I know Hardwood Classics, Hardwood Classics gonna show you classic games, good games. But I'm gonna go with LeBron at the one.
Okay.
MJ at the two.
Okay.
Kobe at the three.
Okay.
Duncan at the four.
Okay.
And Shaq at the five.
So Bron at the one, MJ at the two, Kobe at the three. Did you say Tim Duncan at the four?
Yeah.
And Shaq at the five?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever sat down and did mine, but it's pretty close.
Yeah.
Like you said, I don't put in dudes that I ain't see play. Like, I can't
Nah,
black and white.
you didn't do nothing for me, man. Playing against you 7-1 playing against 5'8" dudes all your career.
That's a hell of a squad, though.
Yeah, I think you line anybody up, but that most nights you gonna catch an L.
Well, most nights you're gonna take an L. Yeah.
Who
would be a six man?
I ain't never think about that.
See, that's a good question.
I think I'm gonna go Scotty.
Ooh, really?
Yeah. Scott. Before I started liking Kobe, Scotty was my favorite player.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, okay. What was it about Scotty that you like about
Scotty? Do everything.
Mm-hmm.
Scotty do everything. What you need me to do tonight, Coach? You need me to defend. You need me to get buckets. You need me to rebound. And he ain't really get. I don't think he got. He was like an underdog in a sense in my eyes. He ain't, playing next to Mike. He ain't really get the absolute credit that he probably should have got.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm gonna go Scotty.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's in Mike's shadow, right?
Yeah.
Like Mike a ghost. LeBron is trying. Yeah. LeBron is
right.
Like, what you gonna do?
Somebody 10 years from now will still be in Mike's shadow. So
yeah, I think eventually there will come a time when Mike is just similar to the way we look at like Wilt and them dudes.
Right.
But I think it's gonna take a while because
it's kind of like you got like rookies now. They be like, I've seen clips of what that dude can do, but LeBron that dude. Right. So it's kind of happening.
So what I think it is I think it's our attachment to a particular time. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. So when I was a kid, Michael Jordan was like a god, right? So I'm always going to have an affinity for him that I'm not going to have for other players. And then I grew up and became a man. And by the time I could appreciate, Kobe, LeBron, I was a bit older. So I'm like, yeah,
Right.
they grown men that hoop really, really well, But I
Mm-hmm.
really believe Mike could fly. So,
Right.
Mike was larger than life. But enough of that. Let's jump into it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why is your love for the game so deep? What is it about the game that makes you just love it so much?
So with the freedom it gives me, man, when I'm playing, I ain't got no stress. I'm just out there having fun, competing, talking a little trash. Anybody know me? Know I like to talk a lot of trash.
Yeah,
I'm in
you
my
talk to.
element, man, and can't nobody really take me out of it while I'm in it. So, you know, I started off playing football. They kept putting me on the offensive line, and then I then I finally got to I finally got to play tight end, and I thought I was gonna get some passes, but tight ends be blocking too, so
Right.
they still had me on the line, and I never forget. They called one play for the dude to throw it to me. He tucked that joint and he ran. That was it. Chin strap came off. The next year I was hooping, and I fell in love with it. I just stuck with it.
And that was the end of your football career.
Yeah. I ain't playing no more football. Might have played some throwback tackle or something like that, but other than that, that was a wrap, man.
So you said it brings you freedom. Does it bring you any other fulfillment? Like, do you get fulfillment from the competition, the teamwork, or just playing, winning or even losing
I
and learning?
mean, now it's just the freedom.
Mm-hmm.
In high school, like when I was actually playing for something, yeah, winning. I was actually fortunate that most of my teams I played on was winning, like winning teams. So,
Mm-hmm.
from when I first started playing, I played on some good teams and we were winning teams. I think in college, my first 2 seasons we was 20-7, and then 25-5, and then the next year we was 28, and I think we had 8 losses.
Mm.
My
So
senior
yeah.
season was the worst season. The conference finals made it a little better. We took a L.
Oh,
So
okay.
I with it, you know, had some winning season.
Cool. What happened to the audio? You switched it?
Somebody called me, man, and they're
Oh,
trying to
okay. It's
knock
all
me off.
good. I can still hear you. I want to make sure the audience can still hear you, but I got the earbuds in, so I can hear you. But I just want to
I'm
make sure
trying
they
to
can hear you. Uh-oh, he buffering. See what we got here. Oh, it's all good.
get. Hey,
We'll
Mitch,
work it out.
call her
I
and
edited it.
tell her don't call me, bro.
Cool.
Go ahead, though. I'm talking to Mitch. Tell her call
Oh,
her.
all right. So moving on, right?
Mm,
Um, and this question is more so like in game action, right? In
mhm.
game action. What's your favorite aspect of the game in terms of while you're playing the game?
Get buckets.
Okay, so I figured you would say that, but I mean, like, so you know me, I'm a shooter, right?
Right.
So there's a moment being a shooter where you're getting to your spot and you can see, even if the ball is on the other side of the floor, you can anticipate that, like, okay, I'm going to end up with an open jumper off of
Hmm.
this. And then
Right.
that anticipation. So, in terms of getting buckets, is it the ISO? Is it slashing? Is it on the break getting a dunk? What aspect of getting a
So,
bucket do you
see,
just be like, yeah?
I've been like a part of a teams where I've been in every position. I've been on teams where the ball been put in my hand and it's go get a bucket. I've been on teams where if you want to score, you better get a rebound. I've been on you better play some D or you coming out the game. So I really don't particularly care how I get it. I just want to put it in the hole, man. You know, put it in
Okay.
the hole.
So getting buckets. I'm with that. I'm with that. Tell me about the best game you ever had.
I'll say my top 2 games is one game we had a total of 60 points and I had 35. So that was a good night. That was a good night. And
But I would say
Did y'all win?
no, we lost. We lost. We lost by 5 points too. Somebody could
So
have
you
gave me.
needed 40.
I needed 40, or
You needed
somebody else needed to give me 6 or 7 or something.
41.
We would have been good. It would have
That
been
sounds like the
historic.
Metro League.
Right. Yeah, but I had another game where I had 23 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists.
Oh,
So I would put that, and we won that game. We won that game.
hey,
Yeah, so,
hey, that's
yeah,
what matters.
that
What
one
about
right there.
Go ahead.
That one right there is I hold is my best game.
Was that in college or was that in high school?
That
Or?
was in college.
Oh, okay. Well, you remember what season it was? Like your freshman year, sophomore?
That was the thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was the thing. My coach did me justice as a senior. He let me rock out, get out the
Hey,
way.
hey, that's what he's supposed to do, right? If you done paid your dues, you make it to your senior year. Some of us, I never played college ball at all, so it's all respect from my perspective. What about a disappointing loss? What's your most disappointing loss that you've ever taken?
Uh, Losing in the conference championship in my senior year. I mean,
Okay.
at that point, it's like you ain't about to be a pro. It smack you in the face like it's over.
It's over.
It's time to hit the world.
The real where you gotta
Yeah,
do what everybody
right.
else been
That's
doing.
that. You got a couple more months of college left. Just get your diploma and we holler at you.
Yeah. Good
Go
luck
play at
out
the
there
main league
in the real
type of thing.
world.
So, yeah. To a
Right.
team that we beat twice already at that. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, really?
So you know how they say it's hard to beat a team 3 times.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
So like my Niners with the Rams,
Oh,
beat them
yeah.
2 times. And then when we really needed to win, they got us up out of there.
Yeah. Question from the audience. Melissa says, how do you handle losses and not carry it to the next game? Like
I think knowing that there is a next game helps with that. Like you you can watch that one off because you get another chance to compete and do better and hopefully come out with a win.
Mm-hmm.
Is that not having the next game is the ones that's season over next year, or it's like, man, I got to sit with this all summer. But if you took an L on Tuesday, and on Thursday night you get to lace them up again. By Wednesday morning, that's over. You back in the gym preparing for the next game.
Yeah, I know when we on the floor, the times, because how many seasons have we hooped together? Like 5 or 6 or something like that?
I think when we started in 15, 14,
I think we
2014.
won it that year I was coaching. That was
Oh, we got
14, so I think I
14.
started
So
in 15.
2015.
But I know even on the floor, like if I miss a jumper, I make a mistake, I'll be like, my fault, Hey, that shit over, Play some defense.
Yeah, it's over.
Like, it's over.
You can't do nothing to get it back, yeah.
Right.
We're gonna shoot the next one. Hopefully it go in.
Right. So one of the questions that I meant to put on here, and I want to go ahead and ask you because I don't want it to slip my mind. Have you ever played against any dudes that made it to the league? Peace, King.
Yeah. I played against.
Yeah, who'd you play
Oh,
against?
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Who'd
I
you play
played.
against?
I played against Rajon Rondo. I played against Josh Smith. I played against Lou Aldane, Charlie Villanueva. It's a couple other guys. Their names slip in my mind though. But I played against a couple guys.
So, which NBA ball player that you played against, like, surprised you? Like, you looked at him, and you were like, or you just didn't pay attention to him, and then during the game, you're like, oh, like he was really shit.
Rondo.
For real.
So I mean, Rondo's already a slender dude, but in the prep school circuit, he probably was at least 20 pounds smaller than he is now. He in the layup line. He didn't even have on hoop shoes, man. He had on some Roy Jones trainer joints. He was warming up in. We was down there. That's the dude they talking about, man. Boom. Dude set a career high assist record on us. I think he had like 24 assists. He was like 24 and 20. He just controlled the game, man.
Yeah.
Controlled the game. Played great defense. It was another level.
What level was that? Was that high school or college or?
Nah, that was like, so after high school I went to a preparatory school. It's kind of like prepare you for college or whatnot.
Okay.
So you pretty much like a fifth year senior.
Right.
Going against them. Yeah. So
yeah, I mean we played what's one of the major prep schools down in North Carolina? Is it Mount Zion or something like that? It's one down in North Carolina. I know we went down there my senior year. Boy, we got smacked.
Yeah, I played them. I think T-Mac went there too. To that joint, Mount Zion.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool. So let me ask you this: were you like a natural ball player, or did you have to like really develop most of the aspects of your game?
Nah, I had to develop. When I first started, I could dribble, but I mean that's about it. I think my first season, played for Palm Park Rec. I still got a poster right now. I had 3 points. I got an and one, and I made the free throw. My uncle took a picture and blew that joint up. My first season ever playing. The whole season. 3 points. Crazy. That's like 10, we played like 10, 11 games.
Mm-hmm.
And then gradually, like the next year, I'll never forget the next year, I had 6. I was averaging 6, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
My man Chuck was on all them teams and he was killing.
Chuck can shoot it, boy.
Right. And we've been shooting that thing since young. You know. But like playing with them guys, I just got better and got better.
And that's tight though, because I know we were talking the other day, you know what I'm saying? To say that you went from scoring 3 points in a season to having, I think, 1,000 points over the course of 2 years in college.
Right.
Like, that's crazy. How does it feel to know that you could put up 1,000 points in the course of 2 years? Like, how does that, I don't know how that feels.
I mean, when you hear it, it feels good. When it's happening, you know, I wasn't really thinking about it. I just, like I said, you want me to put the ball in the hole, I'm going to put that joint in the hole. Then you turn around and you're like, oh, man. I had a 500 point season. Oh, I had a 600 plus season the next year. You know, pretty good.
Swan said Chuck got a flamethrower.
Yeah, he ain't lying.
Put it up, yo, and he be knocking them down. But what was I gonna ask you? So like, yeah, at what? Because obviously, at some point, you realize you're getting close to 1,000, right? I said, at some point, you realize you're getting close to 1,000. Like, I would assume somewhere around 700, 800 with a certain amount of games left. You're like, oh, wait a minute. Like,
bro, you know? Look, because Twan always get on you about this. Like, I don't care, yo. I don't be looking at none of that type of crap. Like, before the game, coach was like, yo, if you get 15 points tonight, you'll reach 1,000. I was like, for real? It's like, yeah. I was like, oh, why? But I never kept calculation or do that.
Wow. Well, y'all show him some love in the hearts in the comments for being 1,000 point scorer over the course of only two seasons in college. That's major. If you're watching this on YouTube, show him some love in the comments. If you're following me but you're not following him, follow him. If you're following him but not following me, feel free to follow me too. And subscribe to the channel. And like Mitch said, just win. So, next question for you. Who's the GOAT?
Mike.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Hold that thought, because I like to get my audience questions in. Is there a region of the country you think the best ball players come from? Boss Man G wants to know that.
I'm going to have to go with the home team, man, this area. I mean, if you look at the DMV, man, if you look at the documentary, you know, that Something in the Water, they ain't even touch on half of the talent that we have. You know, they just touched on probably like the last the last 10 years, and then they threw Len Bias in there, of course. But it's a whole bunch more than that. So
Yeah, you're right. So I played against Keith Bogans and Joe Forte, and I played against DeMar Johnson. Those are the three that I know for a fact I played against. If I played against any other NBA, dudes that made it to the league, I didn't know that I played against them at the time. MJ's the GOAT.
yes,
Why is
yeah.
MJ the GOAT?
I mean, first of all, in MJ's era of winning championships, he allowed nobody else to get no ring. You're gonna watch me get these joints. You got Hall of Famers that ain't getting no rings because of MJ and MJ on. Without MJ in the way, Malone probably would have rings. Barkley would have rings, And then 6-0 in the finals, and 6 finals MVPs.
Yeah, it's unblemished, right?
Yeah, I mean, in the league of his own.
So, okay, eventually, we'll go with the assumption Bron's gonna become the all-time leading scorer in NBA history.
I think he already hit it.
He hit it, including the playoffs. But
Okay.
I think Kareem still holds the record for like the regular season. So when you see
All
that,
right.
that Kareem is the all-time, I think that's for regular season. I think Bron is the all-time in terms of if you include the playoffs. What do you say to people who are going to use that as an argument for Bron being the GOAT? Because Bron is going to be, let's say, number one in scoring, and then he's going to end up being like top 5 or 10 in damn near everything else.
You play to win. Chips. That's what I say. all that is secondary to chips.
Mm-hmm.
And not to say Bron don't have no chips, but you play to get the chips.
Okay,
And
so let me
so
ask you this. Go ahead.
So you say then the people will pose, but what if he catches Mike?
No. That's not where I was gonna go. You know what I'm saying? I was just gonna say, if Bron ended up, because Bron has what, 4 rings?
Yeah.
If let's say Bron had 4 rings, but he didn't have any of those finals losses, but he still had those stats, would you still think you would put MJ over him, or do you think the conversation would be a little bit tighter?
For me, you gotta go get 2 more.
You gotta go. Okay,
You gotta get 2 more.
got you.
Yeah.
He
Go
said
get those 2, then we can talk.
Right, I'm with you. So, okay, cool. So MJ's the GOAT, and I know you a Kobe guy, so we gotta talk about Kobe. This is probably gonna be the clip. You know what I'm saying?
That's my man.
And I don't want to put you in a box, but I do want to hear you talk about your admiration for him and what he meant to you, considering that he's no longer here with us.
I mean, Kobe came in to see a guy come in at 18 with the confidence, the work ethic, the mannerisms he took on. He wasn't backing down from nobody. If you're a player and you get to see that, you gravitate to that attitude, and that did a lot for me, confidence-wise, hooping. I'm like, God, look at this dude, man. He'll go get it. I'm gonna go get it. Let me adopt the mentality, And then in the latter years, to see him as a father with his kids, with his daughters, it's just lovely, man. He always gonna be a part of me.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
I remember when you texted me, what I'm
Right.
saying, that he had passed away, and I was like, what? And to be honest, my first thought is Kobe done got caught up on some Tiger Woods stuff or something. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't thinking about that he had got in trouble before. You know what I'm saying? And I know Kobe is smart. So once I thought about it, I was like, nah, that can't be it. Like, Kobe too smart for that, right? And then I was like, why are you texting me? Because you said something like Kobe, no. And I was like, what? So I Googled it. And I'm like, oh, nah. And Kobe, I'm still mourning Kobe because I didn't appreciate Kobe when he was here, or at least I didn't start to appreciate Kobe until his career was basically in the twilight. You know what I'm saying? And he was just kind of going on out the door. And to see him begin to give us a glimpse into who he really was and his true mindset, and like you said, who he was as a father and just as a person, I was like, damn, I was looking forward to looking up to him as
Right.
life went on, and I feel like we all got robbed of.
Funny, crazy thing, right? So when I first went, my first school was a junior college. I went to a junior college for 2 years.
Mhm.
I was trying to get number 8. They didn't have number 8, so I had number 10. Then I transferred to the next school, to the 4-year school or whatever, which I did the 2 years. In the junior college, the first year I ain't played. No, I didn't. I barely touched the floor. The next year I played, but it was more so like we need you to defend, lock people up. That's how you're gonna gain your minutes. So I would take some, crazy shots because in my mind I still want to get buckets, but I knew they needed me to go over here and lock this dude up so I could get away with that. So that year passed. Then I went to the next school, and funny, my assistant coach he always used to work me out. So he said when he played, he wore 24, so that's the number he was giving. I'm like, man, I don't want that, man. I want 8 or 15, man. Nah, you gonna rock this 24. 2 nights later, it was like, Kobe changed his number. He went from 8 to 24. I'm like, hey, let's go. And then bust out with 1,002 years. So I'm like, hey, that was the mentality right there. I got 2-4 on my back. I'm about to go get it.
You still got that jersey?
Yeah, I got it downstairs. They framed that joint for me.
Oh, okay. I don't think I ever seen it. You got it hanging up?
Nah, it ain't hanging up.
Man, you gotta hang that joint up.
It's next to the ball. They both next to each other, packed away. That's what I'm saying. My man was like, you don't care about nothing. I'm like, man, it's open.
Nah, that's the
look at her
man. That's legacy.
Yeah. I'll show my son one day. Put it out.
Yeah, you got to show Sage too.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, who's your favorite player right now?
Right now, today, I'm gonna go. And my favorite player, I don't mean I think he's the best in the league either.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going Jason Tatum and the young boy out there in Memphis, John Morant. I'm really high on them too right now. Tatum started off slow this year, but he picking it up. I'm gonna get a nod. I'm gonna get a nod to Morant right now just because of how he lead the team. Man, he got the boys, but believing they could do whatever, and they going out there and doing it. So.
Right. So, who wins the chip this year?
I think healthy. I think the Nets have a real strong chance of winning healthy. I think the Suns will get there, but I don't think they'll. I don't think they'll beat the Nets, the Sixers, or the Bucks. To be honest, I would like to see the Bulls, but
yeah, I like the Bulls this year.
I like the Bulls.
They fun to watch.
They're gonna put up a fight, but I think with everybody healthy, especially after the trade, I think the Nets will be the front runner.
Do you think the Nets got better after the trade?
Yeah.
I think Philly got better after the trade.
I think they got better.
They got a player, right? Because Ben Simmons wasn't playing at all. So
right. They got James Harden, who's not. I give him flack all the time, but he's not slouch. He's a really good player. And then the way Embiid is playing right now, if the two can coexist, you in trouble. Philly just beat the Bucks last night, the full-fledged Bucks last night without Harden. So.
Okay. And I'm gonna read this one because I wrote it out because I feel like it's an important question, especially, us being fathers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Considering that the chances of making it to the league or any professional sport is almost impossible, how do we cultivate our kids' interest in sports while keeping them focused on like a more probable reality of being something other than a professional athlete?
I think it's a conversational reminder that you have to have, then you gotta let sports let sports just take its place and lead them to where it's going to lead them to. But they have to watching you also just learn that sports isn't everything, but it's a great tool to put you in position for better things.
Right. I know, because Libby is my shadow. You know what I'm saying? You seen her come to the game since she was super small. Everything that I do, Libby ends up trying. So lately, right, I've been working on. I pull up like a YouTube video where it's like a cardio workout, but with like boxing, right? So me and Libby in the crib, in my mind, I'm like, am I teaching my daughter how to box? You know what I'm saying? Like you said, your kids are going to mimic, but she also sees that daddy, goes to work almost every day.
Right.
So, reality is there for them to see. So I agree with you, you know what I'm
saying? But let me ask you this.
Yeah.
If you are teaching her how to box, that's not, you think of that as a bad thing?
No.
Oh,
Absolutely not. Nah.
I'm
I'm
teaching her
teaching
to
her you
box
keep
right
this
now.
one tucked, you hit it with the jab, the 1-2, and all of that. You know what I'm saying?
She need to know that. Joe's
Yeah.
gonna teach their sons how to box. We need to teach our daughters how to box too.
Right.
Yeah, man.
No, I definitely don't. I see it as a great thing. You know what I'm saying? It makes me kind of want to put her in boxing, but I don't think I'm quite there yet. But I'm fine with her knowing how to, what they call slip the punches and all of this and all of that. Hey, if somebody come at you, I don't care if you're in school. You get suspended. We go to Chuck E. Cheese for the day or something. It's all good. It's cool.
That's how like Sage, man. She come running through here karate kicking, saying she want to be put in karate, and I'm like, somebody slam you gonna be crying like we ain't ready yet.
But I think, of course, at that age though, you could put her in the kids joint. They'll probably take it easy on her so she could get it, early on. You don't think?
I mean, I think it's stages, but even if there is a coach, if you put two kids in front of each other and say you can't control how one kid going to go, you don't know. You don't know.
Right.
As a parent, like if you just on the side and then this one kid is just you like. So
Right. Yeah,
I think I am though soon, but just like you said, just not right now. But I'll do mine, self-defense, some type of self-defense.
Definitely. I think sports is valuable to kids just because you just learn so much about like teamwork, effort. You learn some real life lessons in terms of, it's realistic that you could put a lot of effort into something and it won't turn out the way you want it to. You know what I'm saying? Like that's life. And I think that sports is an easy way for kids to learn that, to have some fight and that success is actually like a cherry on top of all of the practice and hard work that you put in. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so I don't know. That's just the way I see it.
Even with it, like, I use our profession as an example. Like, there's people that work that you love to work with, and there's people that work that you're like, I gotta work around this joker today. But you have teammates like that, like, but you have to coexist with that teammate for the common goal, and that joint prepares you for the real world. Like, not everybody you encounter you're gonna like, but you might have to work with them for a common goal. So
Right. So how do you integrate hooping into like your family life? How does that work? How do you bridge, the hooping and being a family man, basically?
I don't really think I do. I mean, I never really thought about how I do, but if I had to say something, it would be from a leadership standpoint. Being a leader on a team has taught me how to reach every person. You can't reach every person the same, and that's the same thing with my household. Like, my son will probably be a little more. I could probably be a little more stern. Like I'm learning now. Like with my daughter, if I'm stern with her, she doesn't receive it well. Like she automatically gets to crying. But if I just sit down and calmly say the same thing that I said a little sterner, she's receptive. I'm like, okay, Daddy, I'm sorry, I understand. I won't do that again, type of deal. So, you know, it's just using that leadership skill that I learned with different players. Like, like you said, I could tell you, man, bump that, shoot the next one. Or B, that was a bad shot. Don't take that shot. But the other people, if I say that too, they want, man, take me out, man. Take me out, man. Ain't tripping, man. I only shot one time. Like, bro, I'm not telling you not to shoot. I'm just saying shoot a good shot. So,
Right. Well, I don't want to say you got it, but it helps to have thick skin. You know what I'm saying?
right.
It helps to have thick skin. So getting off of basketball just a little bit, Mitch said communication is a great quality of leadership. Yeah, that joint might be number one, right? And I think when we talk about communication, a lot of times we talk about the ability to convey what it is that's either in your mind or your heart to the other person, right? I'm with that. The part of communication that truly interests me is the ability to receive what someone is saying to you, even when you don't particularly like them or you don't like the way they say it. So being a good listener, right? And that's something I just learned probably within the past year and a half is like, I got to get past the messenger. You know what I'm saying? I got to get past my feelings and my retorts and be able to be like, well, is what this person's saying true?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Twan said you need thick skin if you hooping with you. So yeah, you do. But he's gotten better because I've seen you actually, instead of saying something to somebody, you'll just look at them. Or you'll look at me or somebody else.
Hey man, listen. We ain't messing with Twan tonight.
It's all good. So what do you admire most about your wife?
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna start with saying anybody that knows my wife or has encountered her, she's a beautiful person, inside and out, all around. We met each other at 18 years old, pretty young. We're now gonna be 38, so that's 20 years. Initially, just like any young pup, physical things, you're attracted to physical things, her smile, her eyes, her lips. But as I got to know her loving and caring spirit, and her willingness to help other people, it really drew me in. But the biggest aspect was her authenticity. No matter where she is, who she's around, she's gonna be her, and she's gonna expect me to be me. And if not, we got a problem. And early on, that helped me a lot. Build my character as well. So I admire that about her a lot. From a wife's standpoint, I admire her willingness to grow with me. It's been a long time, and she been right there with me, growing. We've been learning each other. We still learning each other, and she ain't never turned it back on me. She supports me in all that I do, and I'm blessed to have.
Salute to Miss Nicholson, right?
Yes,
Real quick, Nick Famous 718. What up, Crumb? Melissa, in response to your comments about your wife, said that's beautiful, and Twan said amen. What do you think your wife admires most about you? That's a good one.
That's a good question, though.
That's a great question, right? Because when I hold on real quick, when I wrote it, I was like, my man might be stuck because I wouldn't know when to say it. Somebody, I'm glad I know who asked the question.
You lucky there's only water because I'll probably be taking a couple more. I can't speak for her,
Right.
But if I had to, I would say, I guess, I hope that she would admire my willingness to be better, better for her and the family and our family. My willingness to continue to love her. And yeah, that's a tough one, dude. That's a tough one. I should call her right here and ask her.
I mean, you are absolutely more than welcome. I was going to say we gotta get her on the show, and I can interview her, and I can hit her with the same joint. But she gonna know that the question's coming because she probably gonna end up watching this. She might be on here now.
Mm.
So let me check. Is she in here? I don't see her in here.
She probably in there. I seen her in there with the little dude. He should be asleep, but I guess because I'm in his room.
Okay, so let's flip it to a easier question that you might be able to answer. All right.
Uh,
What would your wife say is your most annoying personality trait?
that I do everything at the last minute. I'm a last
Okay.
minute. I don't. But in my defense, I feel like I perform. I perform better. Like not everything is a pressure situation, but I feel like I perform better under pressure, and so I kind of tend to just brush stuff off. You know, how many times I gotta ask you to take this trash or whatever. Like, all right, I'm about to get it, man. Whatever. Like, but I know that type of stuff annoys the crap out of it.
So, but you end up taking the trash out. You
Yeah,
just
of
don't
course.
do it in a timely fashion, right?
Right.
Man, well, you know me. You know my shift, my schedule, boy. That trash bag. Boy, that trash bag become a part of the family, yeah.
Right.
That joint
Right.
just be sitting there. I walk past, I'm like, man, I'm tired. Yeah. I'm half asleep. I can always get out of it. Like, I'm tired.
I get to it.
Let me ask you this. Um, Procrastination. Mitch said procrastination we all do, and Melissa said she could relate. Um, I know your kids are kind of young, but are there any differences in the way that you plan on raising your son in comparison to, how you're raising your daughter?
Um, I don't have a plan to do that. I think life, the course of life may cause some things to be taught a little different, or handled a little differently. But for the most part, no, I plan on bringing them up the same way. I mean, after I had my daughter was playing, but like after my daughter, I wasn't sure if we were gonna have another kid or not. So I plan to raise her the same way I would have, you know, raised raised a young man. Of course, I'm gonna be her protector, and provider until she, you know, has a husband or whatnot. But I still want to install in her like abilities to let her know like you need to have tough skin. The
Mm-hmm.
world, the world is a scary place. And, she doesn't need to be coddled and buttered up just because she's a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't, when she got a power wheel, hey, grab one of them screwdrivers. Let me
Mm-hmm.
teach you how to put the screw in. And hopefully when her brother gets of age, she could be showing him this how you put this screw in there, and I could
Mm-hmm.
sit back and watch that. So I don't really plan on dividing how I'm teaching them this way.
Okay, yeah, I'm with you. I respect that. You know me, I got all girls, so I didn't have
Right.
to even, you know, think about that. Even though I do think I, it's kind of tough with girls sometimes because you
What's up?
know that they need to say again.
Nah, my bad. I was laughing at Lil talking about
Oh,
trash
the trash
bags.
bags be heavy. Yeah, let's say the trash bags be heavy. Yeah. Oh man, our trash bags, bro. I'm telling you, I could, when I take them out, I be like, okay, this is my curls. This is my curl section. Hope this joint don't break. But what was I saying? Um, Having girls is so you know they need to be loved on, right? But you also know that they need to have a certain amount of thick skin. And I know one of the things that I've always kind of found difficult is the fine line between, you know, babying them and being like, okay, boy, this is life and this is what it is. So I try to keep a balance between the two, but you just do what you can when you can. Um, what do you think about like your kids when you project your kids becoming adults? Are you one of those parents who has aspirations for your kids to succeed in a particular field, or you just kind of like, hey, whatever it is that you want to do that's, reasonable and respectable, I'm with it.
Yeah, I'm also on that. Like, I ain't pressuring nothing on, like, what you take a liking to or show that something interested in, then I'm gonna back that 100%. You know, it may lean on you a little bit because you told me this is the path you want to take, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make you go at that goal 100%. But I'm not gonna force anything.
Okay, so what advice would you have for young men as far as dating, love, and marriage? Dudes say in their teenage years or in their early 20s, maybe mid 20s. What advice would you have for those guys?
If I go back to teenage years, just listen, bro. Just explore and have fun and find yourself, man. You know, yeah, finding yourself is big in relation. Going into a relationship, a serious relationship, i.e., a marriage. At that, like, you haven't found yourself yet. You need to kind of stay away from that. And honesty, man. If you are going to do it, be honest about it, because at a young age, you ain't really. But the selfishness there too, because you don't want nobody else to have that young lady or whatnot. So
yeah, I'm with you. I think that's a great answer. So you're a handyman.
I'm a man that's handy. I'm not a handy, right? I'm a man that's handy.
Hey, cuz, nah, you didn't send me the pictures. Like, you sent me the pictures.
I
I'll be at
got you.
work, and this dude sent me 8 pictures, and I'll be like, is that a goddamn wall? You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude done took the whole wall down. Like, you got the water running and whatever. Like, yo, this dude, nigga handyman.
Nick Pablo, baby. But listen,
Nigga,
this is what I'm saying. This is why I say I'm a man that's handy, not handy. Like, if you call me and said, I need you to come over here and fix this wall for me, like, most likely I ain't coming. I only because then it starts to be a job. Like, and if I mess your joint up, now you mad at me. But not you per se, probably be mad at me, but fuck. So I like to do like little stuff when I want to, and it's fun. I think I thrive over the teaching myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me see if I can teach myself how to do this and actually do it. But if it's in my crib, if I get it right, I keep the money in my pocket. If I get it wrong, still got the money to pay some. But I come over your joint and run some electric and your whole joint go out. I ain't got no cash to give you. You looking at me like, hold up, bro.
I am not licensed and bonded for this shit, right?
I warned you before I got here.
I need you to sign this release form.
Right, exactly. So,
in case you get electrocuted while you sleeping today.
Right.
So you say you are a man that's handy, right? Yeah. I'm not that handy, right? I can do a very little bit, So what advice do you have for men who are unhandy?
YouTube, baby, and believe in yourself.
YouTube University.
All right, so let me ask you this: what's something that you like to do, right?
What's something that I like to do?
Yeah, like that
in
you like
general?
to do, right? You like to You like to make music, right?
Mm-hmm.
You make your own beats too, right?
Yes, I have.
So how'd you come about making your own beats? You didn't just get in front of a board and this was like, and then you just can't, like, it was a process, right?
No, I had to jack. The way I did it was I would jack the drums from some other song, right? So like I would listen to another song and be like, okay, I can't emulate that completely, but I can emulate that particular rhythm. So I'm like, oh no, that's a bass drum. So boom, boom. And I'm like, okay, that's boom, boom. So I'll put the boom, boom in mine. And then basically I just copied and pasted until I got to the point where I could hear it in my head myself. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
I mean, but see, so YouTube is like the same process with little handy stuff. But you do need to know your limitations. I know my limitations. Like, I know it's stuff that I can see and say, I could change out this band. I can do this, but there's stuff like, nah, bro, I can't install no fireplace. Don't even, don't,
No, no,
you
no,
know.
no, no, no.
Yeah,
That's not what we're trying to do here.
yeah. So I would tell a person, know your limitations. Don't be afraid to try. Start small. But YouTube, man, YouTube show you how to do everything, and you save a lot.
Yeah, you do save a lot of money.
They got
Because like I said,
they got
I'll
some
do
real
little
legit,
stuff.
they got some real legit dudes on YouTube, man.
Yeah, yeah. They like that uncle. They that uncle you call
Right,
up. Be like, hey, uncle,
right.
what, whatever. My father's real good at fixing stuff. I think if I were ever to say when we retire, I just kind of want to go learn something else. I don't think I would study like how to fix, like be handy. I don't know what they call it, the technical handyman. I think I would want to work on cars.
Okay.
I love
Yeah.
cars, though. Like, I mean, when I tell you I can drive, shorty,
Mhm.
like I drive.
Right, right, right.
Oh, Lil said I fixed the garbage disposal and the refrigerator. I did fix the garbage disposal and the
See,
refrigerator. And you know how I did that, right?
how you do that?
YouTube.
Boom!
Well, no. YouTube for the refrigerator. My father-in-law talked me through the garbage disposal one time, and then I kind of used what he taught me, and then added a little bit onto it to fix it. So and I told Lil, I was like, I come downstairs. I look after a couple hours later, I got my chest out. I'm like, yeah,
See? Hey,
your man fixed that for you,
you a man, hey, you a man that's handy, dog. Don't sell yourself short, bro. You a man
Welcome,
that's handy, Joe.
I
Welcome to the
made it.
club.
I made it to the club.
I tell you one thing, home ownership will make you handy, yo. Whether you want to be or not.
Yeah, because you paying that big ass mortgage. What's up, Mamie? Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Um, Real quick, I want to shout out everybody that's been here with us. Twan, Danny Garcia, Mitch, Mimi, DJ Shane, Crystal Khan, Honey Wordsmith, and my lovely wife, Smile Just Cuz. So, top 5 dead or alive. You gotta give me 5 people, dead or alive, real or fictional, that you would like to sit down and have a conversation.
All right. Now, I don't necessarily know where these conversations would go, but I vibe off energies, and I just feel like the energy of these people would make for a good conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, I would like to talk to my man Jelly Bean Bryant, Kobe,
Mm-hmm.
Barack Obama,
Mm-hmm.
Malcolm X. Them two dudes just seem like they real cool, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
every documentary, movie, TV show that I've watched that Malcolm X was a part of, the person portraying him he was just cool, man. Him and that French coat, man, he's just a cool cat, man. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Malcolm, Barack, Harriet Tubman, and
Mm.
my grandfather, man. My grandfather died when I was 19. Passed away when I was 19, but my grandfather was my guy. Like picked me up on the bus when I was at elementary. I think my grandfather had a 5th grade education, but he thrived. He thrived. He was successful. He was there to instill virtues in me, values in me. He when it was time to get a whooping, he'd be like, "Hey, go get that switch. That's what I'm going to call." He always would be like, he said, "How old are you?" "I'm 8. That's how many you get in a day." After a
Oh.
while, I was 6. I was 6 for a minute, champ. I'm 6. Nah, boy, I know I count. Yeah, no, so I would love to know, like as an adult with my own family, be able to sit down and talk to him and just let him see, like, what you told me. I'm standing on that and I'm doing a good job with it. So yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's all. Those are all great ones. Melissa said Harriet Tubman is a great choice. I think my interview before last, Renetta, I think she picked Harriet Tubman too, or one of the previous people picked Harriet Tubman for sure. Um, yeah. What about you said Malcolm X is real smooth. Malcolm X, I think Malcolm X is the most mention name when I ask that question to people. Like everybody wants to talk to Malcolm, and I think it's because we kind of got cheated out of Malcolm.
I was about to say that, like, Martin is heavily put on us, but I never really heard, coming up a lot about Malcolm. It's just recently, like I said, watching TV shows and stuff, that I get to experience what they portray he was like.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, hey, man, I like that dude. Why this dude don't have a holiday, man? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, I would like to talk to him.
I see your comment, Lil. You see that? If you can read it, you can read it. I'm not going to say it. I'm trying to remember.
Who picked their favorite? What?
I'm trying to remember. Somebody recently picked Harriet Tubman. You know what I'm saying? That's what made me think about it. But I talk to people every week. Sometimes it's 2 in a week. So forgive me if I got it wrong. You know what I'm saying? But I know somebody said Harriet Tubman. You have any questions for me before we sign off?
Just I got one particular question. Is there anything before your time on this good earth is over that you would like to do or experience? I know you've had some great experiences already, but is there like any one particular thing that you was like, I would like to see this happen or accomplish this, before you go?
The one thing that, if you want to say that keeps me up at night, you know what I'm saying? I work nights, so I'm always up. But the one thing that's always like there in my mind, and it's very simple, right? I want all of my kids to know me as they are adults. And I just want to live to the point where I know that they're okay with the lack of my presence being there. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I feel like if I can live long enough to see them grow up and be the grown women that I know they can be, then I think at the end of the day I'll be comfortable with that, right?
Right.
To be honest, I'm a bit of I don't want to say an achiever, but I have desires to do things, right? Like when I was a kid, I wanted to go to the NBA, right? When I rap, like I'm rapping, like I'm trying to rap better than Jay-Z and Nas, right? When I do this show, I'm like, I want this to be the best show. I want everybody, right. I want all 7-9 billion people to watch this show, right? But deep down, I know that like if this video goes on YouTube and 2 million people see it, the real value was in the fact that I got to interview my man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I battle with the desire for analytical or monetary success, but deep down in who I am, the spirit that is me, I know that that's not as important as having these conversations and talking to people and giving people an opportunity to just sound off.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm looking at my analytics and a video doesn't get the views that I want, of course I'm down for a second. But like I said, that's like hooping, to bring it full circle. Like
right.
So before I go, there's one thing I want to say about you that I'll always appreciate as a shooter who has always been streaky. Right? Like you see me have games where I can hit 6, 7 threes, and the next one I might be like 0 for 8, right?
Right.
But with the number 1 seed on the line, right? You came down and you drew 3 defenders, and I had only hit like 2 threes that game. You kicked that joint to me in the corner. We was up wide, and I knocked that joint down.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably the only real game-winning bucket that I ever made in my life.
Gosh.
So for somebody to be as talented as you are at basketball and be like, I'm going to my streaky guy in the corner because we've been in the gym for the last year shooting this shot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a belief in me. It's like, this your moment, cuz. This your moment.
That's it. Make me look good, baby.
I'll always appreciate you for that. I'll always appreciate you for being real with me and giving me advice and We can debate all kinds of socioeconomic things and all of that good stuff. So I love you. You my brother. You got my number. You know, if you ever need anything, you can hit me up real quick before we go. In response to what I said, Melissa said that's deep knowing my profession. Yeah, the profession is what brings that to the forefront. So, and I appreciate that y'all was here with me tonight, here with Nick tonight. If you on YouTube, crush the like button, subscribe, leave a comment, and we love y'all. Nick, I love you, bro. You my man.
Love you too, champ.
We
Peace.
out. Peace.
All right. I'll let you.
Yes, sir.
Yo, hey, real quick. Is Libby home?
I think so. You want me to go get her?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let me go see if she's down here.
Sage. Sage. Come here. Come here. Come here.
Hey, look, before I
want you to
go
say
down
hello.
there, I'm gonna take the earpieces out. Hey, Sage.
Okay.
Hold on. Hopefully it don't hang up on y'all. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. Come here. Do not knock my table over this time. There you go.
Hi, Lily. Hi. Hi.
That's what you got to say.
No.
What else do you want to say?
Lily. Yeah. When is the next time we're gonna come over again? I have no idea. Me either.
Tell her your birthday coming up.
My birthday's coming up. I got a gift for you.
All right.
Yes. I think I already know what it is. What is it? You.
That's a good gift.
How did you know that?
So there was a time when Sage was coming over, but Libby didn't know, and I was like, I got a surprise for you. And she was like, is it Sage? It's like, how do these kids be knowing? Yeah?
Hey, man, they're on top of it, you know.
Yeah.
I know it too. I didn't want to tell Daddy, but I know. Hey, I know what it is. Libby. I didn't want to tell Daddy. Because I didn't want to tell you. I only wanted to tell Libby.
Well, maybe you guys will have tennis again soon. All right? Okay.
I'm going to tell Libby a secret.
Sage, you can't tell a secret. We can all hear. We can all hear.
See this. You can tell her.
Cover your ears.
We can't cover our ears, Sage.
All right, ears.
You gotta save the secret for another time, okay?
Oh, sit up.
Okay.
All right. Say bye-bye.
Bye, Libby. Bye.
Hey, we gonna hook up with y'all for Libby's birthday. So.
All right, cool.
Yes.
Yes. Bye, bitch.
Bye.
All right, bro.
All right,
Bye, Libby.
bye, bro.
Libby.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.